38 a few days ago, and for the first time in my life, on my 38th birthday, that was the first time ever that I wished that life had a do-over button, if you know what I mean, or a rewind button, or even a pause button, because life can be a lot. And I thought about my life up until when I was 20, when I was 30, and right now that I'm approaching 40. And there's just one thing that stands out, just the feeling of, I don't want to say regret because I've learned a lot, but just the feeling of wishing, yeah, I think I'll call it wishing that life had a do-over button, and maybe I could just go, wishing I could just go back to when I was 20, or even when I was 30, and just, redo my life, relive my life, and correct those mistakes that I made when I was 20 and 30. I'm actually on my way out to an event. That's why I'm holding this. I have a little bit of makeup on my face, so come along with me. Let's do my makeup together while I tell you the mistakes that I made when I was 30, when I was 20, and how I am now living purposefully and correcting those mistakes even now as a 37 years old woman heading on into her 40s. So let's get started with this video. So hello everybody, my name is Dami and I'm a mom living in Canada. I make videos on how you can reinvent yourself, how you can start living the life that you want. When in your 40s, in your 30s, 50s, 60s, no matter your age, it is never too late to start. So welcome to my channel. If you like content like this, make sure you subscribe, because let's get started into this video today. The first mistake that I made, I think when I was 20 or 30, is living my life in line with society or other people's timelines. Now, as a woman, a black woman for that matter, from Nigeria, and yeah, society sort of has a timeline for when you should do things, for when you should get married, for when you should have kids, for when you should buy a house, and crazy things like that. They have an age, I'll call it a perfect age, where they feel like you should have gotten married and all that. And for some reason, if you don't get married or if you don't have kids by that certain age, then something is definitely wrong with you. That is what society makes us believe. And for the longest time, when I was 25, 26, I sort of had that mentality that something was wrong with me, because I wasn't married at 26, 27. For the record, I got married at 30 years old. I was 30 years old when I got married. Society has a timeline for when they want you to do things, for when they want you to get married, have kids, start making money. And if for some reason you don't choose to follow that timeline, or if it doesn't even happen for you by that age, then they suddenly assume that something is wrong with you. And for the longest time, I carried that mentality around, that something was wrong with me because I wasn't married at 25. I didn't marry at 26. I didn't get married until I was 30 years old, for that matter. So for the longest time in my 20s, that was the only thing that was on my mind: marriage. And thinking about it now, I was going about it the wrong way. I should have focused on some other things, but I'll tell you about that later in this video. So like I was saying, I was so focused on getting married. I even dated a few frogs along the way, but thank God for his mercies. Thank God for his mercies. I just was sad most of the time because I wasn't married, and the situation I was in at the time. So if you don't know, I have two sisters. I have an elder sister and a younger sister, and by the time I was 26, both my sisters were married. Yes, my elder sister was married, my younger sister was married. And then by the timeline of society, then there was something wrong with me. Then maybe I was the problem, or maybe I was too choosy, I was too picky, and yeah, those were the thoughts going on in my head at the time. And I was so sad. I was desperate to get married because I thought I was getting old. It's so crazy thinking about it now, because why would I think I'm old at 27 because I'm not married? In hindsight, I should have focused on myself, focused on growing, focused on growing my career, taking courses and all that. But I was busy being sad, being depressed, being anxious because I wasn't married and because I didn't have kids. So don't be like me. Live your life. Even if you're 20, 30, 40, live your life. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to have a dream, and you're not too late in life. That is one myth I want to debunk in this video today. You are never too late in life. There is still time for you. So live your life and be happy. Let's move on to number 2 of the mistakes that I made when I was in my 30s, in my 20s rather, sorry, and in my early, so here's my earring by the way, in my early 30s, I didn't learn about money. Oh, that one still makes me sad till today. I didn't learn about money. I didn't learn about how money worked. I didn't learn about how to invest. I don't know if you've how long you've been watching me, but I keep saying on this channel, I didn't learn to invest until I was 35 years old. I know, but like I said before, there's still time to grow your portfolio. There's still time to learn about ETFs. There's still time to learn about the stock market. There's still time to learn about investing. You're not too late. So like when I was 20, 30, the only thing I spent money on was really myself, right? I would spend money buying expensive skincare items. I had different gold jewelries. That was the only thing I spent money on. I didn't even remember anything about saving or investing, which is really sad because I could have saved myself some years of working, right? Maybe by now I'll be retired on a beach in Bahamas, but I thank God for where I am still. I'm not complaining, but yeah, that's one of the things that I wish that I learned when I was much younger. So if you are 20 or entering your 30s, make sure you learn about how money works. Make sure you learn about how to invest in the stock market. And if you are still in your 40s, it's not too late for you. I think I have a video on how I started investing at 35, and you can also go ahead and watch that video. It's the second thing that I wish that I knew at 20 years old was how to invest and how to grow my income and not just rely on a salary or not just rely on one source of income. How you guys liking the video so far? I know, so I really like this hair though. Nice. Yeah. Oh, thing that I wish I didn't do when I was 20 or 30 is the fact that I lived life for other people, like based on other people's decisions, other people's what was respectable in hindsight, like a lot of passions and a lot of things that I really wanted to explore, but I was living my life for other people. So I'm really good at drawing, finance and writing, but I didn't explore those parts of me because because someone close to me told me, oh, artists don't make a lot of money, artists are broke and things like that. So I didn't explore that part of me, and I don't want to use the word regret again in this video because I'm happy for where life has taken me, yeah, but it's something that I think about every now and then. Maybe I would, get into that again, start drawing, start making paintings again, yeah, but I live my life based on other people's decisions. For me, I didn't take decisions for myself. I didn't take decisions based on what I wanted to do. I was living based on what everybody else wanted. Oh, you're supposed to get a job, you're supposed to work in the office, you're supposed to do this, do that, yada yada yada, yeah. So I was living my life for other people, basically. For, yeah, I don't want to mention any names on this video, yeah, but that is what I was doing. So in hindsight, I should have been more assertive about what I wanted. I should have been more involved in my life because I feel like I was just watching my life play out before me. I wasn't a part of what was happening because decisions were already taken and all I had to do was come and play my part. That's it. But I wasn't involved in the decision making process. So that is something I don't want anybody to repeat. Make sure you are actively involved in the decision making process of your life. Don't live your life based on society or what other people think of you. It is not worth it. You are valuable, you have ideas, and you are really smart, right? So make sure you do things that you want to do things that make you happy, do things that make you fulfilled, because at the end of the day, when you're 40, when you're 50, when you're 60, the only thing that comes to your mind is how fulfilled you are. Nobody really cares about how many rules you followed or how many rules you broke. So make sure you do something that makes you fulfilled and make sure you do something that makes you happy. Yeah, I'm about to head out now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Drop a comment, drop a like, and make sure to share this video. I'm going to be doing more videos on my life story. I have so much to share with you guys, so let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you've learned. Let me know what you would like to see next. And yes, until I come your way in my next video, have a wonderful day. See you guys.